Upgrading a $75 gaming computer. This is great for people wanting to switch over to PC gaming but have a lower budget. Recently, I bought this whole computer for $75 and I tested it out, and let's just say the performance wasn't the best, so today we're going to be upgrading it. Keep in mind, these upgrades are going to be used computer parts to keep costs low, but I will have everything linked down below. Before we go on though, let's have a quick word from today's video sponsor. If you guys need a cheap and affordable Windows key, then today's video sponsor has you covered. Head to their website at supercdk.com, find your desired Windows key that even have Windows 11. Use the discount code SPLA and it drops the price all the way down to $16 for a legit Windows key. Check the links down below and let's get back to the video. The main parts of the system are a Ryzen 3 1200 processor, 8GB of RAM. Yes, a single stick of 8GB. Yeah, I know, it is pretty bad. For the graphics card, it originally came with an MSI GT 1030 with 2GB of VRAM. And as many of you guys know, the GT 1030 is a pretty lackluster card. It came out in 2017, and it's not the best for gaming, at least not in native 1080p, and it's only rocking 2GB of VRAM. All of those parts are paired with a super budget Gigabyte A320 motherboard. It only has 2 RAM slots, but luckily it has an M.2 slot. And I do have the IO shield, so that's at least another 10 extra frames. It also came in this super budget case with a mediocre Thermaltake power supply and a 500GB SSD, which is a nice touch. It's nice to see SSD rather than a hard drive. Since the motherboard has an M.2 slot, that leads me into the first upgrade. We're going to be upgrading to an M.2 SSD because M.2 SSDs are always going to be better than SATA SSDs. 1, they are just simply faster. 2, they are way easier to install, no cables needed. You can install it in like 15 seconds. At the time of writing this script, I picked up a Team Group MP33 512GB NVMe SSD for $47.27 with Prime shipping. These drives are pretty good for the price. They are always readily available and I've never had a problem with any of them, and I've used a handful of them. To install the NVMe drive, just remove this screw on the standoff, insert your M.2 at a slight angle. If your screw isn't on the motherboard, check your motherboard box, and if it isn't in there and you don't have one at all, I'll have some linked down below. Hold it down with one hand and screw it with the other, and bam, SSD is installed. It is that easy. Our next upgrade has to be the RAM. Ryzen thrives on better and faster RAM, and this system was originally not taking advantage of dual channel or faster speeds. The included stick was from V-Color at 2666 MHz and CL19. This RAM was definitely preventing some frames. I'm going to be upgrading to a 16GB kit. It's a Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro. It's clocked at 3200 MHz with way better timing. To install the RAM, simply pull back these tabs, line up the notches, and firmly push down. It should click. If it doesn't click, then try the other way. Make sure the notches are lined up. You don't have to go with the RGB RAM kit, it's just what I had on hand. But of course, if you have the budget for it, then go with whatever RAM you want to. I'll have some great options linked down below. One of our final upgrades is going to be the case. It's definitely not needed, but it is nice having a nicer looking PC, and it'll grant us some better airflow. I picked up this Apevia Prodigy case in the white colorway on Amazon for around $70. It's a micro ATX case with a tempered glass side panel and 3 included RGB fans. The colors are controllable through a button on the case. They are Molex powered, which isn't the best, but hey, can't complain much for the price. The final upgrade is, go down below and comment what you think the upgrade is going to be. I'll give you a minute. Did you comment? Did you guess? I'm going to be upgrading the graphics card. This paired with the RAM should grant us a nice performance boost. I'm using another budget card, but it's miles better than the GT 1030. It's the RX 560 4GB version. More specifically, it's from a brand called Yeston. I'm not sure if I said it right, but oh well. Animal in the Discord server actually sent this out to me, and yes, I did pay him. I bought a bunch of parts from him, and this one came out to around $50. You should definitely join my Discord server. You know where to check. They are both unattractive cards, but in those terms, the 560 definitely has a better personality. Unlike the 1030, it has 2 more gigabytes of video memory, and overall, all the specs are nicer. Let's put this thing together and see how it performs. The build turned out so clean. Rate it 10 out of 10 in the comments. The original PC was $75, but since I'm not using the 1030 or the original RAM, I subtracted $20 from the original cost. So this whole PC build cost me a total of $229.62. If you're wondering why I didn't upgrade the power supply, well, here's the thing. It's not really needed with the parts that I upgraded. The GPU doesn't require any external PCIe power, so this power supply is perfect for this build. With that being said though, if you were to upgrade to something more powerful, then I do recommend getting a higher quality power supply. First game up is some good old sweaty Apex Legends. These are the settings I tested at. And hey, I stream Apex on Twitch. I'll be streaming like every Wednesday from now on. You should definitely check me out. Next game up is Fortnite. I'll be testing with competitive settings and then performance mode as well. Do you guys think the zero builds was a nice addition to Fortnite? Next game up is Minecraft. I'm testing on Java Edition just so you guys know. I'm using 1080p with fancy graphics preset and 8 chunks on the render distance. I took the RX 560 for a joyride in GTA 5, and let's just say it was quite fun running people over. Pushing the PC a little harder now. I loaded up some Call of Duty Cold War. Yeah, it was definitely pushing the PC a little harder. I then ran some synthetic benchmarks in Borderlands 3 and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Overall, this PC performs really well. Drop your thoughts down below. Like I've been saying throughout the whole video, everything will be linked down below, as well as parts I recommend upgrading to if you have a higher budget. Smash the like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you loved it, and if you like this budget gaming PC, then consider watching this video next.